according to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6. Adequate notice of this meeting being provided to the borough's 2 official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Amy, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, Councilman Benjavanga.
Here.
Councilman Dean.
Here.
Councilwoman Faustini.
Here.
Councilman Besh.
Here.
Councilman Bullock.
Here.
And Council President White.
Thank you. First, welcome back, Amy.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Excellent. Second, can you take us through a review of tonight's agenda, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, there are no matters on for executive session this evening. We have 4 proclamations on. Approval of council minutes for September 18th. There are 3 ordinances on, which are first reading by title. Yes.
I just want to mention, I spoke with the borough attorney earlier this evening. It's in 2093, there's still some language issues that we're trying to work out. Rather than the clock start running and us advertising, we have to re-advertise. We're looking to maybe to just do 2093, and hopefully we can.
So ordinance 2093 will be tabled. There are 17 resolutions on this evening. We do have the addition of one more resolution. It will be number 2017-376, accepting the resignation of Jeffrey Pellegrino from the DPW as laborer 3, effective September 29, 2017. We have one matter on for correspondence, payment of bills totaling $496,765.08. Council reports, and we concluded public comments. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to table ordinance 2093 as per request of Administrator Paul?
So moved.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Mayor, I just want to mention with Resolution 376, for Mr. Pellegrino. Mr. Pellegrino's a fine young man, we're going to miss him. Essentially what happened is, based upon the timing of the meetings, we gave given notice, and we didn't have, the day of our last meeting, we didn't put it on the agenda for that night, and that's why it's retro to the 29th. He actually did give us 2 weeks' notice. He's, very good employee of ours. He's going on to bigger and better things, and we wish Mr. Pellegrino the best of luck.
Okay. On that note, can I also get a motion to add resolution 2017-376?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Dean, seconded by Council President White. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We'll have resolution 17-376 on tonight's agenda. Council comments on agenda items?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, on resolution 367, I just wanted to note that there may be a slight change to the RFP, possibly making the contract 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, as opposed to 7 days a week.
Okay, but Paul, we can vote on 367 as is, right?
We vote to authorize to go out
Right. So,
for proposals, and just because the proposal has been attached to the resolution, I said I want to make clear that there may be an amendment to it.
okay, fair enough. Thank you.
I have one.
Sure.
217-370. I just would like to get some clarification on what why the change order was made for what extra improvements are needed.
This actual change order is just to add, because the prices are low, so what we're doing is we're maximizing out the change order, and when we're done with all the roads, we'll see if there's enough money left to do another road here or there that's on our road improvement list. We're hoping that we'll be able to knock another road off the list.
Were all those roads on the bid when they went out to bid?
When we went out to bid,
It's various roads.
well, the resolution says for various roads, and the way we're awarding the projects, and the way they're bonding them, is that any road improvement that's on the official road repair list is kept in the clerk's office.
But those roads are listed, or is it just listed various roads?
It's about 50. Well, they're listed on the master list.
List of roads. I remember seeing in the office.
Okay,
Yeah, I can send it to you.
that'd be great, thank you.
Yeah, it was part of the ordinances over the summer when we changed it to add, we added a few roads on there.
I'd just like to make sure that those roads are on the list. and-
Yeah, I think we ran into that years ago, right? So we amended, the way that we go.
You know my back.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, seeing none, we don't have an executive session. Well, at this point, we'll open it up for public comments on agenda items. Seeing none, close the public portion. At this point, I ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's agenda meeting.
So,
Second, we are adjourned. Seeing no reason to delay, we'll go right to the public meeting. Again, this meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting also being provided to the borough's 2 official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Annie, will you call the roll once more?
Yes, Councilman Benzinger?
here.
Councilman Dean?
Here.
Councilwoman Fostini?
Here.
Councilman Desch?
Here.
Councilman Bullock?
Here.
Council President White?
Here. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation by Council President White. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just before we pray this evening, I'd like to take a moment of silence in solidarity, sympathy, and prayer for those who were struck by the tragedy in Las Vegas early morning. So. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you that we can gather here together. As we know that there are so many hurting, we ask that you would bring them peace and comfort, that you would heal the wounds and give wisdom to the doctors as they treat those who are harmed today. And we thank you that even though evil may rear its head, that good will triumph. We ask that you would continue to watch over our community, continue to help us to come alongside and serve and protect one another, and continue to help us to make decisions in humility and wisdom on this governing body. Amen.
At this point, once again, I'll open it up for public comments on agenda items. Seeing none, close the public portion. We have 4 proclamations on for tonight. The first is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas the crime of domestic violence violates a person's privacy and dignity, security, and humanity through the systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, economic control, and/or abusing, including abuse, to children and the elderly. And whereas the ramifications of domestic violence are staggering, young women are among the most vulnerable, suffering the highest rate of intimate partner violence. Exposure to domestic violence puts our young men and women in danger of long-term physical, psychological, and emotional harm. Children who experience domestic violence are at a higher risk for failure in school, emotional disorders, and substance abuse, and are more likely to perpetuate the cycle of violence themselves later in life. And whereas the problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but cut across all economic, racial, and societal barriers, and are supported by societal indifferences. And whereas a coalition of organizations has emerged to directly confront this crisis, law enforcement officials, those involved with shelter and hotline services, healthcare providers, the clergy, and other concerned citizens are helping in the effort to end domestic violence. We must recognize that the compassion and dedication of these volunteers and professionals applaud their efforts and increase public understanding of this important problem. Now, therefore, in recognition of the important work done by domestic violence programs and for those who support them, I, Matthew Pinesh, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, do hereby proclaim the month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urge all citizens to observe this month by becoming more aware of the tragedy of domestic violence, supporting those who are working towards its end, and participating in community efforts to raise awareness and demonstrate solidarity for survivors and to show that victims have not been forgotten. We do have some members from our domestic violence response team here tonight. I ask you to come up and accept tonight's proclamation.
Taking two.
Thank you.
Anybody want to share any words? I know you guys have an event tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. Tomorrow evening, we have our domestic violence walk in Spring Lake Park. Candles will be provided. It's just to come out and show your support, so we're hoping to have a good turnout, and we appreciate this very much.
6:15, right?
6:15.
At the gazebo.
At the gazebo in the park. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and whereas October 2017 marks more than 28 years that National Breast Cancer Awareness Month has educated women about early breast cancer dedication, whereas the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month is dedicated to increasing public knowledge about the importance of early detection of breast cancer by collaborating with several national public service organizations, professional associations, and government agencies to work together to ensure that the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month message is heard by thousands of men and women and their families. Whereas the American Cancer Society estimates in the United States more than 226,870 new cases of invasive breast cancer will be diagnosed in women this year, whereas the American Cancer Society estimates that in the United States, more than 2,190 new cases of invasive breast cancer will be diagnosed in men this year, and whereas through research and advocacy, significant advances have been made in the fight against breast cancer, including significant decrease in mortality. And whereas the 2.9 million breast cancer survivors living in the United States today are a testament to courage, as well as the importance of promoting awareness about breast cancer, providing information, funding research, funding recommended screening guidelines, and offering treatment to those who are affected. Now therefore, I, Matthew Pianich, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, do hereby proclaim October 2017 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and ask all citizens to join in this worthwhile cause to celebrate successes and memorialize lost battles. And we do have some individuals to accept the proclamation for Breast Cancer Awareness. A local charity here, Pink Socks, long been involved. Turn the floor over to you guys and some of the good work that you do.
Okay, thank you. First off, I just want to thank you. South Plainfield is always so supportive of Pink Socks. They're always a lot at our functions and whatnot, and we're able to give out, we've given over hundreds of thousands of dollars to people in need, so I just want to thank you. And it just so happens today that I'm accepting this in the honor of my sister, Joanne Vargas. Today would have been her 53rd birthday. So because for her, we do all of this so that no one else has to go through that. So thank you.
Also, dyslexia awareness.
Same last name?
Whereas dyslexia is a language-based learning ability that causes difficulties with reading, writing, spelling, and word pronunciation, whereas the onset and severity of dyslexia varies for each individual, and whereas because it takes individuals with dyslexia longer to process phonemic information, the disability directly affects academic growth, achievement, and self-esteem. Whereas it is important to provide effective teaching approaches and related clinical education intervention strategies for individuals with dyslexia, and whereas Dyslexia Awareness Month is an opportunity to acknowledge educators specializing in effective teaching strategies and to celebrate the many achievements of adolescents, students, and adults with dyslexia. Now therefore, I, Matthew Pianich, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, do hereby proclaim October 2017 as Dyslexia Awareness Month in our borough, and call this upon this observance the attention to all of our citizens.
I would just like to, if I may, accept that. I invited two of Ava's teachers here this evening, but they were not able to make it. That proclamation is very personal to me, as I have a daughter with dyslexia. And I just wanted everybody to take a moment and imagine if whatever you're reading tonight, be it the agenda or whatever reports, whatever newspaper, if that information, reading it was a barrier instead of a gateway to the information. Just be aware that's kind of what she goes through every day. And I just want to thank the educators for being able to remove that barrier for her. And I see, one of our fine educators here tonight, so thank you. I know you work with children with reading problems as well. And so that's it, but I would love to give that to her teachers and her class tomorrow. Thank you.
No, you don't have.
No, I just accept it.
You do all kinds of exceptions.
And it is also Italian Heritage Month. Italian Heritage and Culture Month, October 2017. And whereas Italian and Italian American Heritage Month is an appropriate time to recognize the enormous contributions that the Italian and Italian American people have made to this country and the world throughout our history. And whereas Italian and Italian American Heritage Month is held to salute the Italian and Italian American community and to exhibit appreciation for their culture and heritage that has enriched the lives of people around the world. And whereas today there are over 26 million Americans of Italian descent in the United States, of which 2 million reside here in New Jersey and have made significant contributions to our social, cultural, and economic life. And whereas the Italian and Italian American community enjoys a rich history rooted in ancient civilization that has had the most profound influence on every aspect of our society. And whereas the Plainfield's chapter of UNICO is a valuable service organization of community-minded men and women of Italian American heritage who engage in many charitable works, support higher education, and perform patriotic deeds in South Plainfield. And whereas the month of October has traditionally been a time of celebration in Italian American culture and a time to honor those of Italian ancestry. Now therefore, I, Matthew Pinesh, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, do hereby declare October 2017 as Italian Heritage and Culture Month and encourage all residents to join in recognizing the contributions made by the people of Italian ancestry who have had such a profound influence on our lives and the world. I think we just have some members of UNICO who are here today, and I ask you to invite us up. I invite you up front to accept this proclamation for Italian heritage and current cultural awareness.
Go do this one.
Oh, yeah? I married an Italian. That's the only way they let me in. I married an Italian.
Best thing you ever did.
So you know I have an Italian father-in-law, which
Turn this, I see, go to the camera.
who's the head chief? You're the president. Go in the center.
Go ahead.
One with a suit coat on, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, just in a little
You want to
bit.
stand next to your father?
Stand next to your father, yeah. Okay. One more. Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Benjamin. Now 30 seconds. Explain.
Renato was the founding member, one of the founding members for the Plainfield chapter of UNICO.
We started in 1970, May 18th, 1970, so by 2020, we're going to have a 50th anniversary celebration. But between now and then, we'll give out several scholarships and whatever we have to do to keep things going smoothly. Thank you.
And Renato and I, as chair of the Columbus Day program, would like to invite everybody to come out on Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning at the South Plainfield Senior Center. UNICO will be doing their flag raising and their wreath laying, so please join us. It'll be short because there's no school, so we don't have the band or the chorus or the color guard, but we're still going to have a short celebration, so please join us.
Yes, and this is what it's known as the high holy days for we Italians.
You finally got your wish?
Yeah, hey, good. We've been asking them to close the school, but we didn't tell them to keep it.
Thank you. You guys also do great work. Thank you. Good job. Thank you guys.
Obviously, I didn't get the hair. Yeah, she's Italian too.
Okay, can I get a motion for the approval minutes of September 18th, 2017 agenda and public? So moved. Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Woloch. Amy, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fostini?
Yes.
Councilman Besh?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passed Passes 6-0.
Thank you. For introduction, ordinance 2092.
A capital ordinance authorizing the acquisition of air packs, masks, goggles, and other fire-breathing apparatus at a cost not to exceed $212,000 in the Borough of South Plainfield, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey. Sorry about that. I live in Monmouth.
They can Monmouth is going to pay for it. I'm all right with it.
Helps give them a little second, sorry.
No problem. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Wolak, seconded by Councilman Dean. Amy, can you call the roll?
Yes, Councilman Benjavanga.
Yes.
Councilman Dean.
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini.
Yes.
Councilman Bash.
Yes.
Councilman Bullock.
Yes.
Council President White.
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Also for introduction, ordinance 2094.
An ordinance repealing ordinance 2090 and replacing with ordinance 2094, approving a master license agreement with New York SMSA Limited Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless for the installation of small cell equipment in public rights of way.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2094?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Amy, can you call the roll?
Yes, Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bash?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Can I get a motion on resolutions 2017-359 to 376?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bash?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. We have one item of correspondence, zoning board minutes of August 1st and August 15th. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Council President White. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Can I get a motion on payment of the bills for $496,765.08?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Amy, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bash?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Mr. Rizzo, anything for us tonight?
No, Mayor. Progress.
Thank you. Mr. Cullen.
Yes, Mayor, just a couple of items. One, we do also welcome back Amy, not just tonight, but every day of the week that we've had her. It's been great to have you back.
Thank you.
I just want to mention ordinance 2092, which was introduced tonight, is being funded $192,000 by a grant from FEMA. I know there have been some announcements about that, but those applications were done for the air packs by our fire department. And I just want to thank Chief Scalera and everybody for all the work. I noticed it was out in the news and social media and everything else regarding, I guess the Ledger did their own little summary of property taxes by county, and South Lakewood was listed as having the second lowest tax rate relative to, I think it was, like median income. This month, we haven't yet received it. There should be a table of abstracts is printed, and that will give you what is considered property taxes to real value. I'm expecting South Plainfield to be, in that category again. We've been that way, pretty much the last 5, 6, 7 years. So we've been between second lowest, third lowest, and the lowest every year is Cranberry. Camp Cranberry is obviously a lot different than South Plainfield. And lastly, I was raised to never give anybody, let anybody know what their birthday, what their age is, and so I won't do that tonight. Although I will say I did go to high school with Christine Noonan, so I just want to tonight wish Ms. Faustini happy.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Cullen?
That's it.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The road project has been ongoing. The contractor paved the roads up around the Evergreen area, Whispering Hills, with Fairview, and the next set of roads is going to be moving on to Belmont. We're going to install a little bit of drainage and pave the road, and then Rio Street is in there that needs a cross drain, and that'll be repaved too in conjunction with our dog park work. So we're we're moving along on those. We met with the water company also just last week to go over the status of their projects, and we'll be working with them to finalize the paving, which probably is not going to take place till next year, but we'll be maintaining the trenches throughout the winter as necessary. With that progress.
Thank you. Ms. Antonides?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, there's two things. First and foremost, I want to thank Glenn Cullen, Diane Janis, Andrew Nugent in my office, and Carmela Souther for all their help while I was at the temporary leave of absence. I really, really appreciate it. And second, I just want to remind any interested parties that I have a poll worker training class scheduled at the Senior Center on Tuesday, October 17th at 7 o'clock p.m. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Dean?
Yes, Mayor. I just want to thank the governing body for going along and hiring of the 2 new employees for the Clean Community Program and the groundskeeper for down recycling to take over for the person that had left us as well. Also, I saw with West Fairview that the speed humps were put in over there, which is good and all. I did speak to Lieutenant Delaire last week about Geary Drive, or Garden Drive and everything over there. I asked him if there was ever a study done over on West Fairview. He didn't seem to think that there was ever like a speed study performed over there as far as why we're putting speed humps over there. With Rob Barrios that lives over on the Garden Drive, he's pretty on it about having these speed humps put in over on Garden as well. He did go around last week, I think it was last weekend, and basically got everybody in that neighborhood that was home at the time to basically sign a petition again as well for this. I know Lieutenant Delaire moved the speed sign up closer to his house to try to get better data as far as,
Well, when you say better, I think, so the initial speed survey came out that the traffic was too low, from what I understand.
They
I
were
mean,
saying-
the
he was
speed
saying
was
that
actually
the
low.
speed was 27 to 30 miles an hour. And I get what Rob is saying as well over there. It may not be the speeding as an issue, as a volume of cars going through there during the morning hours for school, cut through from the traffic light, pickup hours and all that stuff. But what he is saying, and what kind of makes sense as well, is those houses, they don't have big driveways, so everybody's kind of parking cars, on the streets. So you got double-sided parking on both of those areas over there as well. There's no sidewalks, and it's just it's a concern that, kids are walking in that bend over there is, it's a sharp radius. That, that's his biggest concern. God forbid, someday something's gonna terrible happen.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't understand why we're like hesitant about putting, speed humps in this area. It may not solve the problem, but at least it'll, it's showing that we're doing something towards this issue over there.
Is he particularly concerned about that bend?
Yeah, that's the main issue, is that radius right there.
Well, Lieutenant Delaire was going to do finalize the speed study, and after that report comes out, then I guess we'll make a decision, or we should make a decision on what we should do.
Well, one of the things that I spoke to Lieutenant Delaire too is, as long as Lieutenant Delaire says okay, he did agree with the ones on Fairview because Clark Avenue, East Fairview, Linden, East Hendricks, all those through streets, classified through streets that go to Woodland, all have them except for East Fairview. So when we paved East Fairview, it made sense, especially with the light going in on Oak Tree Road, that would be the only through street that would not have them going to Woodland Avenue. He did raise one concern about Garden Drive, that with the bend, where the speed humps might increase the possibility of accidents, but he wanted to look at the speeds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We talked about additional signages and putting the variable message sign at that Y intersection.
Well, I know he moved it up to right, they put a pole in there, I guess.
Yeah.
And he got it right in front, almost
So,
like right at the bend where Rob's house
I mean, I have no problem, doing it at all, as long as, he feels comfortable.
Well, I think, like you said, as long as traffic safety is, particularly Lieutenant Delaire, the police department is okay with it, I don't have any concern with it. Len, are you aware of any engineering problem with putting them on? I don't think we've ever had a situation where they've been asked to be put in on a curve. I mean, everything that I'm aware of is fairly long straightaways, but, I mean, if it can be done, if we're not violating any DOT guidelines with them, it's been a
It
while
have to be
since I...
installed at the curb, it's before the curb.
Yeah, but I mean, just, there are some guidelines.
They have to put two up, I was
Yeah,
wondering, why
you
not
have to
put one
do
at the
somewhere
curb?
by, by Wells Drive, that
But I
area.
mean, could you put one at the curb itself? Because if it's a decent bump, people wouldn't have to.
No, I wouldn't,
No.
that's
No.
dangerous enough right there. Especially
You'd have to
when
put
winter
one-
with ice or
Well,
something.
then you have to have one before and one on the other side.
Correct.
I mean, we'll leave the design up to engineers and so long as, in the study, but, yeah. I'm a little concerned if the study comes out as 25 to 27 miles an hour, that we want to go out and do the study again. To me, that doesn't sound like the right approach. If we did a study and the speed came out at 27 miles an hour, and I would imagine that that speed study was done throughout the day, we're not talking about any particular time.
I think there's an issue with the flash.
Is there an issue with the flag?
Yeah,
it-
there's a flash on and now.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying, so let's do the study again, if there was an issue with it, then that's fine. 27 seems a little low on any street, that's 25 that people are going, so I mean, that would raise a concern right away, but,
Well, it depends where it is, because it's a sharp bend.
right.
I mean, to go that sharp bend at 20, 30 miles an hour, it's pretty tough.
All right, so let's see what the study comes out again, and then, yeah, I mean, that's been, the idea, we came up with this policy modeled it after, I think, what the state guidelines were, and Paul worked on it with me years ago, so.
Well, my recommendation is that if Lieutenant Delaire says that he agrees that they should go there, then they should be put on the other bend on Garden Drive as well. Because you're gonna just take it from one,
Right.
you're gonna
Sure,
close,
absolutely.
and they're gonna be over there and stuff like that, so if we're gonna do it, let's do it and do it right.
Right, I agree. Well, and that's exactly what we saw with, when we first put them in over off of Woodland Avenue, was we had to do many more streets than we originally did,
Sure.
many more streets that were initially the target project area, and that was the wisdom of the engineers who came up with that. So, anything else?
That's it.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes, I've had a question from Councilman Dean. The lights are up at the PAL building for the turf field. Everyone may be wondering why they're not lit yet. We are waiting just for PSE&G to make the connection. And the information that we have is that they're just very busy, that people are all over. They've sent different storms. They have to take care of that, and obviously that has to come first. Progress on the dog park. We should still be on target to open the end of the month. So that looks good, and thank you again to Councilman Dean and Councilman Benjavanga for getting the seeding done, and the little seedlings are sprouting. They look great. I was over there today. That made me happy today. The flagpole should be going in next week. Just some news about the senior center. I met with Triolano earlier this week, and membership is up to 500 members from 400 last year, which I think is really terrific. And as it is getting colder out, everyone should be aware that flu shots will now be available, I believe, tomorrow through Twin City. Anybody know? Yes, right?
11:30 to 1.
7:30 to 1. 11:30 to 1.
Yes.
And is that for everyone?
Well, Medicare recipients, there's no charge. If you don't have Medicare, you would, I think it's $27, but don't quote me on that.
Okay, I'm sure that the information's out there. And if you missed that one, there's another flu shot offering on 10/13. I don't know who's doing that. And I know the county is offering them to anybody on 10/16.
And 10/14. 10/14, there'll be
Oh, and
100 free ones.
10/14, yeah.
So if you're cheap
There's
and you want to
100.
get up early, you can go to the health fair, as long as you're on the 101, you can get there.
Yes. Well, Mayor's Health Fair is 10/14, and along with that, since I don't see anybody from the library board here tonight, there's also a fall festival at the library that day.
They're not giving flu shots there.
They're not giving flu shots, but there will be a special guest reader there at 10:45 for anyone who'd like to bring grandchildren or children over to see our special reader. He was a really big hit last year. And there's also the fire open house that day as well. So it's kind of like South Plainfield Day that day. Oh, and another thing I just wanted to make everyone aware of on the council, there's an organization, actually it is through the Evangelical Church in Scotch Plains. And every year they do a service mission. It's called Service to Service. So instead of going to church that day, they come out into a community and they perform service for people who are in need. So this year they have expanded their community list to South Plainfield. So especially in times now, everybody should be aware if they see people in teal shirts, kind of surrounding a few different locations doing work. They're with this organization. It's a wonderful thing they do. And I think they're going to come in and maybe tell us about it when it's done too. They reached out to me, Council President White and Mayor Nash. So that would be done Sunday, October 8th. So if you see some teal shirts, that's what's going on, service to service. And I think with that, that's progress.
Thank you. Councilman Benjamin.
Thank you, Mayor. As Mr. Cullen mentioned about the article from NJ.com, pointing out that, you know, we have one of the best tax bargains in the state of New Jersey, and that the abstract rateable over the past 5 to 6 years, we've been in mostly the second spot in the county for the lowest tax rate, and then, you know, float between second and third. We always strive to be the first, but I think it's a big testament to you and Mr. Collin, and actually former Councilman Rusnick chaired Administration Finance for 5 or 6 years, and now I'm in his place here, that we've been able to, you know, control the spending, but also put important projects out there, such as the dog park, the lights at the field, improvements to the PAL, the pool, the roads, everything that we've done over the past few years, and especially this year. And thank you guys for your hard work, and let's continue to shoot for the #1 spot. You want to be #1 in this category. All right, and with that progress.
See how do we beat Cranberry?
Cranberry and Helmet, we gotta be.
I had a lot of people say Cranberry should go to Mercer.
Yeah.
No, we'll see what we can do there, Mayor.
There are some.
We'll keep striving.
There are some unique characteristics about them, right?
There are some, there's no high school. There's
No high school. We're looking at total taxes too. We talk about this is your total tax bill, not just the municipal part.
But it's relative to real value.
Yes. Councilman Best.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to welcome Amy back, and I'm glad that you are on the road to recovery there. I wish that it goes a lot quicker than you thought it would be. I'd like to echo Mr. Councilman Dean's remarks about thanking the council for the hiring of those employees. Hopefully it will make a difference. And as Len so graciously put it, our road projects are on the way, and kind of steals my thunder every week, but that's okay. And just one other thing, I did speak on Wednesday with a representative from the water company, and I know that Len and Glenn had talked to them on Friday, but they indicated to me that they are going to be doing a renewal project on Plainfield Avenue for the pipes. So, Rob, your wish of having it not done during school is going to be taken care of. We're not going to do it this year, and hopefully we can schedule it for the summer for next year. So with that product.
Excellent. Councilman Woolley.
No problem.
Council President Ward.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just 2 quick items. First is I'd like to welcome Link staffing to town. They're going to be having a grand opening, ribbon cutting tomorrow afternoon. And then also wanted to give an update on behalf of myself and the Economic Development Committee with regard to the Walgreens property on South Plainfield Avenue. I've been in contact with the owners of that particular property. Currently, they're in talks with a couple of national brands, very well-known brands that you'd be recognizing, $21 billion companies. And hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll be able to announce that something is moving into that space. I'm also having talks with additional companies as well, larger scale companies, to try and get that space filled and revitalized over there. I have to say that the owners of that property are great to work with. They're willing to put the money into the property to make it retrofitted and renovated to suit the needs and the specs of potential businesses that would like to come in. So hopefully in the near future, we'll be making an announcement about that. Make that progress there.
Excellent. Councilman Benjamin, you had something?
Yeah, just one thing. I received a message from a resident firefighter. When we repaved Lane Avenue this year, we put down the markings for
Do not block the box.
do not block the box. So Gary and Len, you guys work together to see if maybe we can coordinate something where the exits are for the fire department. I know that there's the one on Maple and the one on Plainfield Ave, to try to do the same, mirror the same thing. I know we asked about it coming out of the Dunkin' Donuts at one time, and they kind of was okay with us doing it then. So I think we would have to pay, I don't know how it works, but however we can
As
try.
far as putting a do not block,
Yeah, they have it there now, but it's just 2 bars, or if you look at Lane Avenue, it's crisscross.
Much more noticeable.
It's much more noticeable.
the only issue that I know of is that if it's not in the MUTCD, then it's not enforceable. But a do not block the box if you print it, because I've seen those, and I know that they're in, and it says do not block the box, and it's got the space. That's,
Yeah, whatever we can do to try to, because it's just 2 bars that are fading, and I see it all the time over there, across from Chichio, that part there, the carts never stop, so that was a request, just to see if you guys.
okay.
All right, thanks.
All right, at this point, I'll open it up for anything on your mind.
Suzanne Lepore, Bullard Plates, just here on behalf of the South Plainfield Cultural Arts. Just another reminder that October 15th at 2 p.m. in the library, we're having a presentation done by Dr. White and Dorothy Neely regarding the second South Plainfield book that was recently published, and there will be copies, free copies for people who attend. We did order a case of books, so it's, for first come, first serve. They both will be available to sign the books at the end of their presentation. And then also another reminder that on the 28th of October, we have the annual line dancing event at the Senior Center from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And all are welcome. It's another free event.
You got it? We'll be there.
Thank you.
By the way, great job on the art show.
Thank you.
And not just because my elephant was displayed.
Where are our-
It was a great show.
Yes.
Besides
the elephants
that.
are still missing.
I'm not sure, I think,
Okay.
either Joan or
Mindy has the elephants. I have to get your elephant returned.
Oh, I thought they were
need
on
this.
permanent loan, but that's okay.
Yeah, well,
I wanna
I'd
bring them
like
back
to,
to that.
Smithsonian.
thank you for reminding me about that. I would like to publicly thank Joan O'Brien for taking the lead on that whole festival. And it was fantastic. It really exceeded our expectations, both in the turnout and in the art that was submitted. And we had quite a few people say that they would definitely participate in it next year, knowing now what they saw from other people. So it really was a fantastic event.
Yeah, I thought it was very, very well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Boyle.
For those of you who visited, you noticed that we had the elephants in a herd.
Yeah.
And we also had elephant ear cookies in front of the elephants.
That I did not know.
It was a lot of fun. Okay, Debbie Boyle, Bailey. I know that there's a parking issue over by Riley School. I've had numerous calls from parents because they were using the Morris Avenue Senior Center housing to park. The people in that housing development complained. And I know there's limited parking on Walter Street. There's parking down Morris Ave. So I know that Lieutenant Dallaire was looking into it. He talked to multiple parents, and he was looking into maybe removing some parking signs. I had asked if maybe we could, the lawn at Riley School is huge, and if we could take some of that lawn and make parking spaces, even if it was just not paved, but an area where people could park. So hopefully that something will work out there, because there is an issue with for the parents. Also, the Historical Society and the Business Association hosted the book signing with Mr. Vite and Dorothy Neely last week. It was a great turnout. We had food and we gave away
40 books.
40 books.
By 5 to 6, they were gone.
Yeah. So
You all
that
know
was,
that 'cause you.
it was at Highland Woods, so it was nice for people who've never been there before to actually see Highland Woods. and walk around and look at the different artifacts. Also, Walk and Bike to School is this Wednesday, October 3rd. If you want to come out and join us, that's hosted by the Mayor's Wellness Committee. And Monday, October 9th, again, is the Columbus Day ceremony at 9 o'clock at the Senior Center. Saturday, October 14th, that's our Super Saturday. We have the Mayor's Wellness Health Fair from 11 to 2. There'll be 100 free flu shots, as the mayor noted. There's also other kind of testing. Ask the doctor general medical questions. There's a lot of things there. We'll have fruit donated by Green Olive, and I believe the Knights are giving us cases of water, and I think In-N-Out Bagels are donating mini bagels. And then you have the open house for the fire department, and they have their memorial service at 10, I believe.
No,
and then
it's actually on Monday the 9th at 6:30.
Oh, they're doing their service on Monday?
Yeah, they're doing it on Monday.
Columbus Day in the evening.
Okay, all right, okay. And then the library Oktoberfest. So come out, it'll be a great day for South Plainfield. November 4th was originally the day we picked for trunk or treat. It still will be the Zombie Fest, which will be 4 to 6 downtown. But we have to change the trunk or treat because it's SAT testing. And the students that work with us, decorating their cars and handing out candy, will probably be in SAT testing. So we're moving it to Sunday the 5th, same time, 1 to 2:15, in the high school lot, depending how many people, down towards the middle school lot. And October 30th.
When was the Zombie Fest again? The time?
That's still going to be November 4th.
What time?
4 to 6 downtown. Oh, and October 30th, the South Plainfield Business Association is hosting Meet the Council Candidates at the Senior Center from 7:30 to 9. And the TAP is hosting Meet the Board of Ed Candidates from 6 to 7:30. And that all takes place at the Senior Center on October 30th. So hopefully you'll be able to come out and join them. Okay. With that, thank you.
Thank you. That's all on the calendar somewhere, Anna, is that right?
Yes.
I'm completely lost. Anyone else?
That's okay. Watch the tape.
I think I got enough notes. Anyone else? All right, sir? We always welcome new faces.
Yeah, I'm completely new. I've never been to one of these before.
Oh, welcome.
My name is Chris Springer. I'm 2012 Perry Street. And on Sunday, yesterday, I attended a rally to extend the Greenway that is currently in Metuchen.
Okay.
And their plan ultimately is to extend the Greenway up into the Dismal Swamp and hopefully ultimately into Metuchen Road. And just wanted to let the council know that I was there. And it was pretty cool, and I think it would be a great thing for our town because I regularly use it, and I can ride 3 miles to the end of Metuchen Road.
It's biking as well, right?
Mhm.
It's biking as well, bicycle.
Bicycling as well,
that'd be great.
bicycling and running and walking. And I can ride 20 miles into the end of Keysby and only do 6 of them on road from my house. So it'd be an excellent thing for the town. So just wanted to
Thank you.
say that. Maybe you guys could give me some guidance as to how to inform the community a little more.
I responded to Chris earlier today. When I attended one of the Dismal Swamp meetings back in, had it been back in late March, I think it was, there was actual, Congressman Pallone was there, Senator Biden as well. And there is talk about trying to gain some kind of funding to do that, but nothing would be pretty much done until all the Dismal Swamp cleaning and that's all that EPA stuff. All that has to get done first before, being able to obviously extend that through that area, which, they're working on getting funding to finish that part of the cleanup right now.
Yeah, one of the things, John, Councilman D, when I first got on the council back in 2005, there was talks about the Greenway in their plans, and they availed going through Metuchen Road to the dead spur that is there. And we rode it all the way to Talmadge Road, and then it would cross over Talmadge Road to the other side. So, you know where that bridge is on Talmadge? There's a little bit of a depression there that you could have, one time, 12 years ago, you could drive your car all the way to the spur of the tracks. The tracks are still, although they're dead, they're still active by Conrail, so that was one challenge. But but that was the ultimate goal, but it was the issue with the dismal swamp.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
So that, and then, I know they're trying to use, get permission from Conrail as well to use the trail, or to use the railway for when they do the EPA cleanup to get, you know, the chemical, the soil, whatever you wanna call it, out of that area is to use the rail. So I guess once that was done, then they were gonna talk to Conrail about eliminating that line and then possibly extending the whole greenway up through into South Plainfield down to Metuchen Road, Belmont Ave there, that whole area.
So, it seems like it's been gaining some traction,
Yes.
so.
Yeah, they are starting to clean that old landfill back there. That's really the biggest hurdle.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the railway is affected by the Dismal Swamp portion, but I'm just gonna attend more of the Edison Greenway meetings and, you know, find out what I can, hopefully, just inform the people, because it would be a huge benefit to the town.
You got the local observer right there, so you should, and then there's also an online tab into South Plainfield, so obviously those are two things that we use to get a lot of the notices out, and then the Facebook page, but yeah, we'll reach out to you as well. Thank you for attending.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public portion. This point, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion, it's my birthday, I motion.
We are adjourned.